A wonderful morning to all my dear students. Children, as you all know, we have started lesson number 5, Food Safety. And in our previous module, we have studied about food spoilage and food wastage. Isn't it? In this module, children, we will study about food protection and food preservation. So let's begin. First, for World Food Day. October 16 was dedicated to the World Food Day by United Nations. World Food Day is a global action to strengthen international and national solidarity in the fight to end poverty, malnutrition, and hunger. The world is moving to the center stage in the global struggle for food security, rising temperature, water shortage and crisis, and eroding soil. So 16th October is observed as World Food Day. Children, we have learnt about various methods of safe storage of food like freezing, drying, boiling, airtight packing, etc. These different methods prevent the growth of microorganisms in food and thereby save the food from spoiling. Isn't it? All these methods, they prevent the growth of microorganisms in the food and save the food from getting spoiled. So all these are various methods of storage of food. Food and Drug Administration is a government organization that controls production and distribution of food and drugs by their standardization. Food Safety and Standardization Authority of India, that is FSSAI, has been established as per the Food Safety and Standardization Act 2006. Okay? Food Safety and Standardization Authority of India, that is FSSAI. Now children, we will learn about food protection. Suppose I kept one wheat grain sack on wet damp place in one corner of the room. What will happen after 6 to 7 days? Think children? Yes, the whole grain sack will get spoiled due to attack of insect, right? So children, prevention of food spoilage by microbial growth and infestation by pest is called food protection. I repeat, prevention of food spoilage by microbial growth and infestation by pest is called food protection. Okay, so when we prevent the food from getting spoilage by the microbes and also by the infestation of pest, so this is called as food protection. That means we are protecting our food from microbes and pests and insects. Understood children? Now food preservation. Let us see. Use of various preservative to prevent for a long period of time food spoilage due to internal factor is called food preservation. Understood? That means how we will preserve our food and keep it for a long period of time by using various preservative is called as food preservation. Now let us study the methods of food protection. The first one is use of inert gas. Second, use of preservatives. Third, pasteurization. Fourth, irradiation. Fifth, use of insecticides. Sixth, smoking. And the last is freezing. So let us study them, children. First, use of inert gas. Children, nitrogen gas is filled in airtight packets of potato wafers and other food products, thus preventing the growth of fungus and insects in them. As you can see on your screen, children, nitrogen gas is filled in the airtight packets of potato wafers, okay, so that it prevents the growth of fungus and insects in them. So here nitrogen gas is used and it is one of the method of preservation. Next, use of preservative. The first one is natural preservatives. Some naturally available materials like salt, sugar, oil are used as preservatives in pickles, jams, murabba, petha, etc. So naturally available materials like salt, sugar and oil, these are the natural preservatives. Are you getting me, children? Good. All these are natural. Now chemical preservative. Acetic acid, that is vinegar, citric acid, sodium benzoate and some nitrate and nitrite salts are some examples of chemical preservatives. These are used in sauces, jellies, jams and in packed ready-to-cook vegetables and ready-to-eat food, etc. These preservatives keep the food safe for a long duration. Are you getting me? The chemical preservatives, they are used to keep the food safe for a long duration. Next is pasteurization. Pasteurization is heat treatment, involves heating food to a temperature that kills disease-causing microorganisms and substantially reduces the level of spoilage microorganisms. Okay, this method, it involves the heating. So pasteurization method, it destroys the microbes which are present in the milk and keeps it for a longer duration. So what does it do? It destroys the microbes which are present in the milk and it keeps it for a long duration. So this is one of the method which is used for the preservation of food. Are you getting me, children? Good. Now children, let us study the products that can be pasteurized. Food items like butter, cheese, cream cheese, sour cream, yogurt, ice cream, nuts, sauerkraut, eggs, lobster's meat, crab meat, etc. And liquids like milk, honey, vinegar, fruit juices, cider, lemon juices. These are the products that can be pasteurized. Next is irradiation. Now in this method, children, food is exposed to the ionizing radiations such as high energy electrons emitted by accelerators, X-rays, gamma rays emitted by radioactive isotopes. This process destroys the microbes, insects, etc. And shelf life of fruit increases due to increase in ripening the period. The shelf life of potatoes and onions increases due to slowed down sprouting. So, this is the method. The shelf life of potatoes and onion increases due to slowed down of sprouting. Methylation is sprayed on the gunny bags containing food grains. This is the use of insecticides. The next method where it is sprayed on the gunny bags. Next is smoking. Food is preserved with the help of smoke. Aluminium phosphide is used in this method. So, aluminium phosphide is used and it is used as a preservative. Next is freezing. Biological and chemical reaction in food materials are slowed down at low temperature. As a result, food remains in good condition for a longer duration. That is why, children, refrigerators are used in the kitchen. Isn't it? We use refrigerator which is kept in our kitchen. And why do we use it? We use it to keep our food, to preserve it, right? And food remains in good condition for a longer duration if we keep our food in the refrigerator. Now children, do you know in Maharashtra, irradiation plants have been installed at Lasalgaon for onions and potatoes and at Navi Mumbai for spices and condiments. So these are the irradiation plants which are being used in Maharashtra, which have been installed in Maharashtra. Okay? So that the foods are being preserved. Now let us study what is adulteration. The definition would be reducing the purity of an article by adding of a foreign or inferior substances. Or we can say that the process of lowering the nutritive value of food either by removing a vital component or by adding substances of inferior quality is called food adulteration. The substance that is used to lower the quality is known as adulterant. Now children, what happens in adulteration? Another food item is used, okay, to reduce its nutritive value. This is called as adulteration. That is mixing of another substance in that food to reduce its value, nutritive value. Now let us study here the food articles, adulterants and the harmful effect. In tea, the adulterant used is tea leaves processed and colored. So the harmful effect is it affects the liver. Second, milk. Unhygienic water and starch is used, which harms the stomach. That means it causes stomach disorder. Sugar. Okay, in sugar, chalk powder is used as an adulterant, which also harms our stomach. In chili powder, children, brick powder, sawdust, it is used. It is the adulterant and it causes stomach problems. Sweets, jams and juices, non-permitted coulter dye, that is methanol yellow, is used, which is highly toxic and highly carcinogenic. So these are the different adulterant which are being used in the food article. That means they are being mixed with the food articles. Food is adulterated in this way too. First, removal of some important component of food. For example, removal of fat content of milk, essence of cloves, cardamoms, etc. Mixing of a low quality, inedible or cheaper material or a harmful color with food. Mixing of some harmful materials like small stones, fine sands, iron filings, urea, dung of horse, sawdust, etc. Now children, how will you find out if food has been adulterated? So let us see, the first food material is milk and adulterant is water. So how we will find out? What we need to do is put a drop of milk on a glass slide and slightly incline it to spread the drop. If the spread mark of the milk does not appear milky white, water must have been added to it. Understood? In this way we can find out the adulterant in the milk. Next is red chili powder, and the adulterant used here is brick dust. So how we will find out here? Take a spoonful of chili powder in a beaker, add water up to half of the beaker. Stir it and leave it undisturbed for a few minutes. If a red layer is seen settled at the bottom of the beaker, it must have been adulterated with brick dust. Next food material is turmeric powder. The adulterant is methanol yellow. So, take a pinch of turmeric powder in a test tube. Add a small quantity of water to it. Shake the mixture and add a few drops of concentrated HCl. The mixture becomes red on addition of concentrated HCl, and the red color does not disappear if methanol yellow is present in it. Next food material is rava, and adulterant is fine iron fillings. Now what we need to do? We need to pass a magnet through the rava. So what will happen then? Iron fillings adhere to the magnet. That means the iron fillings will get attached to the magnet. Children, always remember, some chemicals are injected into fruits to make them more attractive and tasty. Milk vendors add urea to the milk so that it appears to have higher fat content. Shopkeepers change the expiry date of food packets and airtight containers to avoid financial loss. Calcium carbide and some other chemicals are used to make fruits look more attractive. For example, bright yellow bananas. And frequently harmful chemicals like carbonated soda phosphoric acid, etc. are mixed with cold drinks. Have you all understood, children? So what is the homework today? You need to write down the answers, okay, of these questions which have been asked. Okay? If you have understood this lesson, so there would be no problem to solve the answers to this question. With this, we have finished our lesson number 5. Thank you, children.